Good morning. I'm just wondering if you're interested in creating a higher level of performance for yourself in business and thereby creating more productivity and more profit, or maybe you're interested in doing this for your team, where you can help people go from being stuck to unstuck, from self-sabotage to self-empowerment. It's a very powerful thing. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 steps on how to do this, how to work towards a higher performing self in business and a higher performing team. And at the end, I've got a little gift for you. It'll only go a couple of minutes. So the very first thing in creating a high performing team and also for yourself is knowing what you want. Now you see some people create vision boards. They've got pictures there of what's going to be achieved and so on. And that is a step, yes. And what I'd like to suggest is a more powerful step is to be fully associated in the picture. And what I mean by that, instead of looking at the picture, it's being the picture. So if you can imagine for a moment, as a short exercise, that when you close your eyes, you can imagine a picture of the ideal you in every way, shape and form, whether it's in the workplace or at home or in sport or whatever. And you create a very vivid, a very compelling picture, just as you would have with a vision board. It's rich in emotional appeal and in the representation of what it is you're going to be when you're the ideal version of you. And then the full exercise is taking a little time, but for brevity and for the sake of this video, just imagine that as you're looking at that picture with your eyes closed, you step into the picture, you float into the picture, and you begin to see through the eyes of the ideal you. Feel what it's like to be in the body of the ideal you and hear the great things you're saying to yourself through the ears of the ideal you. And you continue to enhance and improve this and so associated, so you feel that you are this ideal version of you. Then you wrap it all up and bring it back with you to your chair. And it's one way of creating this association, the connection with, and increasing the level of certainty around you becoming the ideal version of you. The second step is to know what you're going to give or give up to become the ideal version of you. And a couple of things I'd suggest here. Once you know what it is that you want, as we did in the first exercise, and you create this really burning desire to be this ideal version of you, and this is very important, the burning desire to become the ideal version of you. So it's good to spend a little bit of time in that first step. Then you have the pages in front of you and write down, well, what are the things I need to do or to give? What have I got to give of myself to get this done? Maybe it's the daily activities, maybe it's booking those meetings, whatever it is for you. You have your own KPIs, not set by anyone else. They're your very own KPIs. And then on the other page, what are you going to give up? You're going to give up those, maybe so many trips to the coffee shop, the distractions, diving into the internet and never coming back. You know what those distractions are like. You go look for one thing and you go to the next and the next. So what are you going to give up so that you can have what you want, so you can be the ideal version of you? And this is why I said it's important to create in that first step that burning desire, the emotional attachment, so it's strong enough to let go of those things. Very powerful. Now the third step is a skill called reframing. And for many people, you may or may not know what reframing means. And what it is it's changing how you perceive the circumstances or the situations or the people around you. And you can do this a number of ways. One way of reframing is asking yourself a different question. Or you may ask the question, look, I wonder what else could this mean? So if it's in an interpersonal situation, you're speaking with someone and they're saying no, or you're getting rejection or whatever it is. And if you're in sales, you know what rejection is. So if that person said no, what does that really mean? Like you've caught them at a bad time. Maybe they've just had some bad news and their receiving mechanism is not open for anything. So you could ask yourself, well, if they're acting like that, I wonder what's happened in their life today. And maybe it's not about you at all. So you can ask yourself a better question. What else can this mean? Second way of reframing is your mental imagery. Now you may have been in a practice of, if a situation is coming up, you've already run the movie of what it's going to be like, and maybe in a negative way. So what I'd suggest is that when you look at this situation, or you've got a situation coming up, a meeting, something you have to do, create a positive movie and play that movie instead. And you'll find that you'll have probably a better outcome, because you're having a better approach. It's sunrise here and the ducks are just going crazy in whatever their morning ritual is. So then, the next part of reframing that we're going into in this short video is that motion changes emotion. So if you're sitting down, or if you're in a particular chair, or you're in a certain place where you're not feeling good, you're not feeling empowered, or you're not in a positive mind frame, just stand up and walk somewhere else. Go to a different part of the room, go outside the building, come down to the beach, whatever it is. Because once you start moving, once you start changing that location, you are going to change the way you feel. Just that movement will just start things happening. We'll go to a place where you do feel good. These are powerful ways of reframing. And another way to reframing, and it sort of touches on the self-imagery and the motion, changing emotion, is to imagine on the other side of the room there is another version of you achieving the outcome that you'd like to achieve. And you can see that version of you there. You can see how they're standing. You can see all the beautiful things that they're achieving in their life. And once you get a good vision, physically walk over and into the position of the ideal version of you. Just imagining you take on a role like an actor, and you go and stand in this role and you act like the ideal version of you, feel like it, hear it, see it in every sense. And it'll change your outlook, because you'll be looking from a different point of view and you'll see things differently. So there are 3 brief steps on how to change the way you're performing, to get into a higher performing mindset, to become the ideal version of you. And it can work for you, it can work for your team. It's so powerful. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you'd like to learn more, if this is of interest to you, then what I'd like to give to you is an opportunity to have a half hour with me on the phone or on Skype, and we can talk about how this can work for you. Very powerful. When you learn how to control your mind, you're going to learn how to control how you react or how you act in life and in circumstances around you, so that you can be more productive and more profitable in your business. You're going to make more money. It's going to be as easy as that. When you change your attitude, you will change your altitude, as they say. If you'd like to do this, send me an email, hello@waynedonnelly.com, WAYNEDONNELLY.com. And we'll have a chat, and we can really give you a move along. And maybe the chat will be enough, but there's so much more. There's a range of workshops where I help people to create a brand new world for themselves. By changing the world in here, we change the world around you. All right, have a great day. I look forward to hearing from you soon.